Hello, this is Mr. Huff. Let's spend a minute talking about nonmetals. Nonmetals are gases or brittle solids. They do not conduct heat or electricity very well, and they are generally not shiny. You have some of these in your body, like oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Calcium is in your bones, and sulfur and chlorine are found in other places in your body. So you couldn't exist without nonmetals. On the periodic table, the nonmetals occur in these regions that are colored yellow, everything to the right of the metalloids, and then hydrogen all the way on the left by itself. These are the nonmetals. Nonmetals like to join with other nonmetals in covalent bonds. What that means is they are sharing the electrons together, and that way they get completed outer shells. Because they do this, they don't conduct electricity very well because the electrons are not going to leave that group of atoms. When nonmetals join with metals, they swap electrons. The metal will usually give the nonmetal an electron, so the nonmetal will become negatively charged. The metal will become positively charged, and that difference in charge is what holds the two atoms near each other. This is called ionic bonding. Several of the nonmetals, like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they form diatomic molecules. What that means is if two hydrogen atoms get close to each other, they will bond together to make H2. The same happens with nitrogen, N2, and the same happens with oxygen, O2. Hydrogen is very reactive. It has a single outer electron. And when it combines with alkali or alkaline earth metals, we call that compound hydride. When you look at the nonmetals in column 17, these are called the halogens. Halogen literally means the salt makers. When you think about what they're used for, bromine and iodine occur in lamps to make really bright lights. And let's see what else is on here. They are very reactive. They have a single gap in their outer shell, so they really want to grab one more electron to fill up that outer shell. And that's what this says. When they join with metals, that compound is called salt. Chlorine will form a yellow gas, which is very dangerous, Cl2. It was used as a weapon in World War II. It was called mustard gas. And bromine is the only nonmetal that occurs as a liquid. I think we talk about that later. And iodine is a violet gas whenever it forms a diatomic gas. One thing I want to point out on this slide, fluorine is the most reactive element, not metal, the most reactive element on the periodic table. Bleach is based on chlorine. It's used to disinfect water. Chlorine is the most abundant halogen on Earth. It's also used to whiten flour and your clothing and paper. Rice is another thing. Anything that's chemically whitened, we are probably using some sort of chlorine in there. Bromine is the only nonmetal that occurs as a liquid at room temperature. Bromine is important in DNA processing. It's what they use to stain the DNA so it can be analyzed. Iodine occurs as a shiny crystal when it's at room temperature. When it heats up, it makes a purple vapor. And if you get surgery, you may see something like this yellow coloration on your skin. That's where they've treated you with iodine to kill any bacteria that might infect you in that area before they cut you open. Column 18, these are the noble gases. They have completed outer shells, and because they have an outer shell that is complete, they do not react with anything. And that's all we have to say. Thank you so much.